It's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I'm here in Dubai in our studio at Breakbulk Middle East with Chris Cook from Maersk, who just finished a great innovation session. So he's here to give us the highlights. Hi, Chris.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us some of the high points of what you talked about this afternoon.
So really what we've been talking about is how we can improve the customer journey, and what we've done is improved the time it takes for our customers to get a quotation for their cargo, taking an 80% improvement in the lead time.
That's a huge reduction in time.
It is, and we're really proud. I mean, 12 months ago, this is just over the last 12 months, so we were here last year, and one of the questions our customers were asking us was, how do we get our quotes quicker? And that's really what I was talking about. How do we improve that experience of getting a price and a service from Maersk?
Right, so how'd you do it?
Great question. So we needed to understand why it took so long. That was the first thing, and that was really down to a couple of things. One, it was difficult to use our platform. Two, we didn't have an application on there on the mobile phone, and then there was a lot of internal workaround. So what we did was we built a tool that could automate our quotes, and we simplified the way our customers could access it. And that's really then the result that we've been able to reduce from 34 hours to get a quote down to less than 4 hours for more than 70% of our customers.
That's amazing. Now, is there any human intervention on that?
No, that is now entirely automated. So and the important thing for us is, of course, the 70% are getting it within 4 hours or less. There's still 30% we need to work with. And those are the customers who have the more complex demands. And those are the ones that we can then spend more time with. That's not something that we can automate. That's something that we need a little bit more time together to understand. And that's the key for me, that we can spend that time with them. And for those that have the straightforward requests, we can service them quickly.
Can you give us an example of a more complicated request?
Well, as I look around the room here, I see many pictures of them. But let's say large piping or large turbines or pieces for wind turbines. These are the types of equipment that then become more complicated to quote for and provide a solution for. And that's the stuff that we're now trying to, or that we can then spend time with the customers and build a solution with.
That is interesting, and it sounds like you're on the forefront of the digitalization that we've been talking about for several years.
Yes, exactly.
So are the 70% that get them within 4 hours, are they as accurate as when it took longer?
Actually, yes. We spent a lot of time. I mean, Maersk is operating across the globe, and one of the key things is understanding in each port location what are the restrictions. So we've been able to, through our network, build up that information. And that means we're able to provide very accurate quotations into the customers. And actually, really what we want to do is bring our customers to our platforms, allow them to support through the platforms online, and then give them better availability. So the other thing I talked about today was using chatbots, which to kind of automate responses to the most common requests, and then cloud telephony. That means my customer service teams can access or be accessed not just when they're in the office, and that's, we're in a business here where it's just 24/7. It's not 9 to 5, Sunday to Thursday, and I think that's really the other part of the presentation that I've mentioned today.
So are those pieces in place, or is that part of the future plan?
Yeah. So the chatbots we're already in place now. The cloud telephony is something that we're rolling out in the second half of this year. And ultimately what we will do with that is we'll include artificial intelligence, so we can start to bring forward likely responses to a customer request. Most of my customers call and say, where is my container? When's it arriving? These are things that we can do very easily. It's then solving the more challenging requests that we want to be able to support our customers on.
That is so interesting. All right, let's fast forward 10 years. Is that long enough? I'm not sure. What does the future look like?
Well, I'd love to have that crystal ball, but I think in our industry, you know, there's a lot of focus on sustainability, and I think we'll see a fundamental change in the fuels that we use in our ships. And we as Maersk have already made a commitment around becoming carbon neutral by 2050, and in 10 years' time we want to have the first vessels which are entirely using alternative fuels than heavy fuel. So that's one thing. I think we'll see a lot more of artificial intelligence, and we'll enable that through our digital platform. So I think that will come through a lot more in the coming years. I think those are probably the two bets I would place.
All right. Well, we'll take those bets. Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me today.